Today we are going to discuss the difference between conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. We all know energy is a form which can be converted from any source to any other source. So basically these are classified into two groups, we can say, or two categories, we can say. The first one is conventional and the second one is non-conventional, and the other names which are given to these two terms are also renewable and non-renewable. So these sources of energy can be easily converted from any form to other form, which is going to be discussed in today's topic. After this we will continue to the next chapters, but before that, when we'll talk about these terms, renewable and non-renewable, we easily predict that what these terms are saying or these words are saying. Renewable, it simply means that can be renewed again and again, and which can be harnessed again and again, and there is no limitation on the availability of these type of sources in the nature. So let us first discuss the qualities which are available in renewable sources of energy. So renewable sources of energies are those energies which can be converted from whatever available in nature to other form of energy which are being used in today's modern world. Generally all form of energy which are available for renewing can only be converted to electrical energy, and these electrical energies are further used for various purposes in our households and transportation and many other things which are being used in modern technology. So first we can say the most abundant renewable source of energy. Anyone can say what is the most abundant sources of energy? The coal. Okay, coal is the most abundant source of energy which is available in nature, and generally India is very rich in the quantity or the availability of coal in almost all parts of the northern states, which includes Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is central state. Apart from that, northern states are very rich in coal availability, and the amount of consumption from the northern state is you can say 10 to 20 times the production of the coal than any other states available in the country. So the most promising state which produce coal is Jharkhand, after that West Bengal, then Bihar. Coal has those qualities which are layered in various groups. So coal is not of a general nature. It depends upon the type of burning and the velocity produced by the coal. It depends on various criteria how coal can be classified. So the first there are four categories in which coal can be subdivided. The first one is lignite, second one is peat, third one is bituminous, and the fourth one is the anthracite. Thermal power plants generally use these sources of energy to produce electricity. There are almost more than 100 thermal power plants available in the country, and the coal is transported from the states which are having its quantity in abundance by the railway wagon, to those states where thermal power plant is situated. So let me first discuss about lignite. Lignite has a burning velocity of more than 500 to 600 degrees centigrade, and it is converted to coke at this temperature only. So this coal is not very much suitable for those boilers, because we know Lamont boilers are generally used for thermal power plants. So Lamont boilers do not resist this type of coal, as the burning velocity is very high. So often the bituminous and anthracite, or you can say peat, can be easily used, so that their burning velocity is lower than that 500 to 600 degrees centigrade, and the temperature at which the coal is converted into coke, that must be low than that mark, that 500 to 600 mark. After that, it comes to, as I already told, that peat, lignite and anthracite coal can be used for burning the water available in the boiler, and Lamont as well as coke oven boiler. Generally, coke oven boiler were used at the time of locomotives, when locomotives were running on diesel engine. So nowadays these locomotives are obsolete. So the coal has the only purpose to be used by the thermal power plants. Now coming to the second sources of energy, natural sources of energy or renewable sources of energy, that is fossil fuel. Fossil fuel are produced by decaying of the aquatic animals from 100 or 1000 years of ago, when the large marine aquatic animals died, and their fat and other body parts are submerged in the beneath of the sea level. So that generally takes the form of very you can say those substance in which chemical nature is established, or that is being harnessed by the various petrochemical plants from extracting those liquid and converting them into diesel fuel and mobile oil, or other gaseous products which are being converted from these liquids. And even hydrogen, use of hydrogen and other gases, carbon dioxide, methane, propane are being used these days, and other gases which are used for burning or producing the combustion technology in the diesel or petrol engine, are LNG, you can say, liquefied natural gas, PNG, petrified natural gas, CNG, compressed natural gas, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. So the classification which can be subdivided from fossil fuels are, you can say, gasoline. Gasoline consists of both diesel and petrol, and gaseous fuels, which includes LNG, PNG, CNG, LPG, methane, propane. So these are gaseous fuels. We have discussed coal and fossil fuel. Now coming to the next topic, that is hydrogen. We have already discussed. Hydrogen is available in the nature from 0.8 to 1%, and these percentage has a major impact in the atmosphere. So along with water and nitrogen, so the extraction of much amount of hydrogen is also harmful for nature. But since the modern technology use hydrogen along with compressed natural gas to run those electric cars, are generalized to reduce the amount of pollution in the atmosphere. So that is directly proportional, you can say. if we are extracting hydrogen from the atmosphere, then we are lessing the or we are working on lessing the amount of combustion gases or burnt gases to the atmosphere. So that can easily anyone can say that that is not going to harm the atmosphere at any cost. So extraction of hydrogen, extraction of water, extraction of nitrogen is all if nitrogen and hydrogen or water is being added to the gases or gasoline in the coming future, so there is no need to worry about the effect on atmosphere. So these all have a directly proportional relationship between the amount of burnt gases out and the amount of extraction done by the various authorities or companies from atmosphere of hydrogen, nitrogen and water. So basically we can say the resources which can be renewed again and again are called renewable sources of energy, and energy is the form which can take place from any of the sources which are available in nature to convert it into a electrical energy or mechanical energy. That depends how the what is the procedure being used to convert the sources. So this is all about the natural resources which are available in the nature, and we should also take care the way of extracting them, so that the amount must be reserved in such a quantity that can be used for the further generations. Okay, we will discuss the next topic, that is conventional sources of energy or non renewable sources of energy, in the next topic or the next lecture. Thank you.